Hey everyone, it's Janae and thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight's video, we're going to do a brief whip and chat and a full post review on Victoria's Moon. Stay tuned. On this channel, we do unboxings, tips and tricks, recommendations, and full post reviews just like this one. So let's jump into that video. Before we get started though, I'd like to take just a little bit of time and reach out to those that are in Dayton, Ohio and El Paso, Texas. I would like to say that I'm truly sorry for what has occurred in the last few days. The unthinkable act and the people that we've lost. And most of you know that I'm from Manitoba, Canada. However, I am US born and I am from Washington State originally. My family lives in Washington State, and I have some family that also live in Florida. And I have friends and relatives as well that live in Ohio and in a few other states as well. We can all say our thoughts and prayers are with you. And unfortunately, saying those words will never bring back your loved ones. And it'll never take away the act of cruelty and cowardice that occurred. I do want to say that people are there beside you, thinking about you and wishing you and your family the best. And I truly hope that one day, that this will never happen again. So from the bottom of my heart, I wish to tell you all that I'm thinking of you, I'm beside you, and I wish you all the very, very best. Thank you. As you can see, I just have this small little portion left to go, and I thought it'd be kind of nice to be able to do this last portion with you and see how everyone's doing. I hope you guys are having an awesome morning, afternoon, or evening, whichever it may be for you. Here today we had a very gloomy day. It was overcasted, but it was warm and windy. It rained a little bit, but we kind of need the rain. I have to be honest, we do need the rain. It has been really hot and dry here this last summer, and my vegetable garden is definitely kind of struggled in keeping some of my vegetable garden alive. And my plants, they kind of get a little sad looking when I get home from work, and we water our plants in the morning and at night, and it just doesn't seem to be enough sometimes. Giving up on the grass though, I'll tell you what, that grass is resilient and it's green, and we never water it, so how it stays green is beyond me, but yeah, that's one thing. So again, I hope you all are having a really good day and a really nice summer for those of you that are having summers, and those of you that are having winters, I hope your winter goes fast. I do not like the cold. So if you're in a cold area, I feel your pain, because we get cold here, and sometimes the snow doesn't go away for, well, let's say 5 to 6 months. So it can be kind of depressing, but I do love this area. It's a really nice area. And the springs and the summers and the falls here are gorgeous. I have to say, this area has all 4 seasons. It's just beautiful. Whereas some areas that I've lived in the past, they might have 2 seasons, brown and yellow. So anyway, almost done with this picture, and then we're going to do a full post review on it. I know a lot of YouTube creators have had the opportunity to do unboxings for Victoria's Moon. I was very honored when they asked me. At first I thought it was a scam at first when they approached me, because I'm such a new channel. I haven't been on YouTube for very long as far as doing videos and things like that. So when they first approached me, I was kind of skeptical, and I thought, I really don't know if I want to do this or give them any information. But I thought, well, they did send me a website. I'm going to check it out, and I have to say they got quite the variety of paintings on their website, and it really was quite intriguing to see all that. And then the really nice thing is it's very user friendly. It was broken up in categories and then subcategories. So honestly, I really do like their website. Some of the pictures, or the paintings I should say, were I had to do a double take, because there was one there that definitely looked like it came from the Diamond Art Club. When I went back, I think it was 2 days later, to kind of look over what they had to offer, I noticed that those 2 paintings were no longer on their website. So I do know that people had reached out to them and said, that the paintings that they had advertised were stolen art. So I do know that they did take them off, which kind of makes me believe that there is a possibility that they were unaware that those were stolen artwork. It's kind of one of those things that it's really hard to tell if they knew or if they didn't know. If they didn't know, I don't fault them for that, and it's nice that they were willing to take those off, because it really isn't fair for the artists that work really hard on those pictures for another store to come and steal them. I mean, I just don't think that's right. But if they legitimately didn't know that those were stolen artwork from another store, I can completely understand that. But a lesson learned is to make sure that what you're purchasing from another company that's selling these prints, they really need to investigate it and make sure it's not stolen art. That way they won't fall victim of that particular issue. Because honestly, for me, I don't like it when I know that stores have it and they legitimately know that is stolen art. In fact, I went on AliExpress like 3 weeks ago, I think, and I was really shocked when I went on a few stores and they had Mandy Manzino's pictures. And what really shocked me was the fact of how much money they were asking for these pictures. Now granted, if you were to purchase the smaller picture, sure, you're only paying $6, $7, $8. But if you were actually going to purchase the same length of picture that you would have gotten from the Diamond Art Club, you're pretty much paying the same amount of money, and you're not getting the AB drills, you're not getting that special canvas, you're not getting the poured glue, you're not getting the guarantee of quality. I mean, you're just paying for stolen art, and it just kills me that they're out there. So that's just my little rant. Sorry. I just thought I'd bring that out. But yeah, for this store though, like I said, I noticed that once it was brought to their attention, they did remove two of the paintings that I saw were stolen art. I did hear from somebody else that there was another painting on their site that was linked to the Diamond Art Club, but I'm not sure. I think it was the picture or painting was called Spot. It was a dog, but I haven't seen that one on there. But then again, I haven't been on their site for a couple of weeks, so I don't remember seeing it when I was there, so I'm not saying it wasn't there. I just didn't see it, or I didn't pay attention, so it still could be there. But I do know that the two prints I saw are no longer on their site, and I have to give them that. At least they did take those off, and for me, that means a lot. I don't want to see other people's hard work being stolen so that other people can benefit from it. It just doesn't make, it's not right. Let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. Really, I truly would love to hear your comments. Let me know, what type of projects are you working on? Are you a fan of rounds, or are you a fan of squares? And are you the type of diamond painter that likes to work on multiple projects? I'd love to know, because for me, I just can't do it. I can't work on more than one project. I don't know why. It just drives me insane. But when I started this painting, I thought, oh, I really want to get this painting going, and I'd love to do a post review as soon as possible. And I was already like halfway through my custom painting I was working on, and I just have a hard time because it's sitting out in my living room right now, basically laying on top of my sofa, and I sit there and look at it every day. I'm like, it's not finished, and it's just hanging there. My son, I don't know if this will explain it, but my son is a high functioning autistic Asperger, and when he was being evaluated, the psychologist said to me, because he wasn't evaluated, well, let me backtrack. He was evaluated when he was 4 years old. They put him through a lot of tests. Unfortunately, he was Asperger. To ask an Asperger, even at the age of 4, to basically give them like 5 to 10 minutes to work on something and then take it away from them to start something else. An Asperger cannot do that. They do not have the ability to multitask. They just can't do it, or pull themselves away from completing a project. And in some ways, I'm kind of like that. I mean, I can multitask at work. I have no problems doing it. But when I'm at home, I just have a hard time with it. It's like, okay, I really want to complete what I'm doing and then start on something different once that project is done. And for some reason, I've always been that way. Now at work, I could be typing a letter, answering the phone, placing an order, and doing all three of them at the same time. But at home, it's completely the opposite. And I really don't know why. There's really no rhyme or reason for it, other than I feel more comfortable when I'm working on one thing versus working on several. Oh, and believe me, I've tried. I was thinking just the other day, I still was working on this. I had my custom I'm still working on. I have a whole bunch of Christmas cards that I bought to do they're diamond painting Christmas cards. And I thought, oh, you know what, I can just do a couple of these, and then I can do like a post review on them, and then I can put them away. In the back of my mind, my subconscious mind was like, you're nuts, because you ain't going to do that. And I'm like, okay. So I decided, no, I'm not going to. I think I would have gotten way too stressed out for it. So this weekend, had gotten some really bad news. My sister's husband went into the hospital. He's a stubborn, I call him a stubborn old man, because he decided that he did not need to go to the doctor even though he was having chest pains. And thank God my sister got him to the hospital when she did, because he was having a heart attack. They found that one of his main arteries were 90% blocked and one was 100% blocked. So he was a very, very lucky individual to get into that hospital as quickly as he did. And my sister, thank God, recognized the signs, because if he had gone much longer, he would have had a massive heart attack and most likely would not be with us today. And I told him he's got to start listening to his doctor. It's not fun getting old, I can tell you that much, but we can prevent some of this stuff if we choose to do so. So he is, I know that they put in a couple of stents, heart stents. He was able to go home, I believe, either late yesterday evening or early this morning. So my sister is hopefully taking it easy. The last couple of days going back and forth from home to the hospital has been awfully hard on her, but she is going to get a gift. I bought her one of the new releases from the Diamond Art Club. She loves the Japanese type paintings, and when I saw that one that they had in the new release, I thought, oh, I gotta get that for my sister. So I ordered it, and I'm having it sent to her place. So I'm looking forward to hearing how she likes it. She's never done a Diamond Art Club painting yet, and she was like, oh my God, you're going to get me addicted to Diamond Art Club. And I said, well, you got to start somewhere. Okay, everyone, we are done. I am going to push everything off to the side and get my camera situated so that we can do a full review on this painting, and we will be back in a flash. So again, everyone, this is the result of the picture that I received from Victoria's Moon, and it turned out beautiful. Look at the amount of sparkle in this picture. It is gorgeous, and I actually swapped out some jewels here, 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 and here with my sparklers. So I'm just going to bring this up so that you can see it. I don't know how well you'll see it, but you'll see that I've swapped some of those jewels out and put in the sparklers where the windows are. It's kind of hard to see it in this light, but this picture turned out beautiful. One thing I'm going to say that I'm really impressed with is the adhesive. Taking these jewels out and replacing them with the sparklers took a lot of effort, because those diamonds did not want to come off the canvas at all. So I have to say I'm extremely impressed with their adhesive. So again, look at that sparkle. The whole thing is just amazing. and the picture turned out far better than I expected it to. In fact, I have to be honest, when I took the protective sheet off, I was a little skeptical. I really didn't think it was going to turn out that nice, and only because a lot of the kits that we receive have that background color that shows a lot more detail on the canvas before you start placing the drills. And this one didn't have a lot of color detail in the canvas before the drills were put on, so I was really kind of skeptical. I thought, oh boy, this isn't going to be very vibrant in color. But looking at it now, and especially looking at it through the viewfinder, it is beautiful. It's amazing. So I'm going to go over some of the points that I wrote out for this picture. I'm just going to put some stuff off to the side. Again, this is a 60 by 60 full round drill, and it came from Victoria's Moon. This is called Cottage Lighthouse, and we're going to do the overall full review on this picture. So I have 3 categories I'm going to go over. First is going to be the canvas itself. When I received it, I had absolutely no issues with the canvas. There were no rivers, there were no puckers, no indication of air bubbles, nothing of that sort at all. The one thing I made a remark about in my unboxing is, I'm just going to take the washi tape down a little bit, is their key. I find their key is really small and makes it very difficult for people like me that I wear bifocals, and to be able to see this key is almost impossible without magnifiers. So one suggestion that I made, I did reach out to the company, or I did reach out to the store, and I did say to them that their key is really small and it really should be a little bit bigger. In order for me to get the key where I could see it, I actually had to make a copy of it, put it on an Excel spreadsheet, make it a little bit bigger, and then print it off, and then I was able to make little labels for my storage containers. So I put them up here. So that did help, but for people that don't want to spend a ton of money on storage containers, this key is really too small and it really needs to be a bit bigger. And what would really be nice is to have a second key on the bottom right hand corner as well. So I did make that suggestion to the store. Also, I found that the drill key was very clear. The one thing I found really difficult as I was working on the picture was they had symbols that were very similar in look. So as an example, they had the uppercase F and the uppercase E, and they were right next to each other. Now, if you had been working on this picture for about 30 minutes to an hour, after a while your eyes start to get tired and that F and E start to look like the same. It was hard to tell the difference between the F and the E, especially with that training wheel around it. So again, another suggestion would be to make sure that your symbols, if they're going to be close together, that they're not similar, because it really did make it difficult. Also too, the R and the B was another issue when I was working on it for a long period of time. They all started to look like B's instead of R's. So that was another example. There were a few more that I had problems with if I had worked on it a little bit too long, and then I'd have to literally walk away from it for a while just so that my eyes can I guess refocus once I came back. So, and like I said, when I work on my canvases, I'm always wearing a magnifier, and my magnifier strength is at 2.5. So if the symbols weren't so close together or looked so close together and then right next to each other, that would be really good if they could separate those. Let's see. I did notice that in some cases on the canvas there was a bit of fraying. Now, it's not as bad as some canvases I've had in the past, but there is some fraying here, and that is a bit concerning. But it, like I said, it's not that bad. And I think the biggest strength for this store is their adhesive. Super strong, non-slip, and great. I mean, when I had to take these diamonds or these jewels out where I was replacing them with the sparklers, it took a lot of effort to get them off the canvas. They did not want to come off. So hands down, I think this is probably the best adhesive I've worked with yet. Okay, so that goes to the next category, which is shipping and packaging. Now, when a store ships their product, it's out of their hands at that point. Once the carrier picks it up, they have absolutely no control what happens to that box or that package. However, they do have control of protecting the canvas the best way possible, and that is the way they package it. This is another thing that I had suggested to them, is that they package their product a little bit more different. If you've seen the unboxings of these pictures, you're going to notice one thing, and that is none of those canvases were around a foam core. They were in the box freely, and the only thing that was in between the canvas and the box was the drills and the toolkit. To me, that is not good protection. If these pictures are coming from China or anywhere overseas, they need to take in consideration the amount of throwing and banging and things sitting on top of it as they go through their journey to that customer. My box, thank God, was not demolished, but it was creased in a couple of places. The canvas survived it, but I have gotten paintings from other stores that literally that box is disintegrating while you're opening it. And my suggestion at that point for the store is to invest a little bit of money in foam cores. Wrap this canvas around a foam core. You're going to have, the canvas, I should say, is going to have a better chance of surviving that travel and the constant battering and banging up that it's going to endure during those travels. So spend a little bit of extra money on your packaging and make sure that that canvas stands a better chance of that travel. One thing that really surprised me about this was I ended up having to pay custom charges, and I wasn't expecting that. Now again, that has to do with who the carrier is. Now, the carrier for this particular painting for me was DHL, and again, like I said, they charged me $20 for custom fees. Now, if it had gone through Canada Post, I don't think I would have paid custom fees. I could be wrong, but I do know that there were a few people that got it through Canada Post and they did not have to pay custom fees. So that's a gray area, and if I'm going to have to pay custom fees on top of full price, that's really going to kind of turn me away from buying from this store, because when I figured out how much it was going to cost me to buy this picture at full price, it would have been almost as much. I believe it was $10 to $15 less than a Mandy Manzino picture from Diamond Art Club. Now, like I said in the unboxing, I don't really want to do a comparison here between stores, but I have to be true to everybody and myself by saying, if I'm going to pay that kind of money, I'm going to go more towards Diamond Art Club than I would here. Only because Diamond Art Club, I'm going to get that painting within 7 to 14 days, and their canvas, the Diamond Art Club canvases, bar none, are the best canvases yet out there. So if you're going to be charging your customer close to Diamond Art Club prices, you need to up your game. That's all I'm saying. Now, again, disclosure here, people. This is my personal preference. This is how I feel about it. You may feel differently, you may agree, but I'm only giving you my preference here. And as I said, if I'm going to be paying this kind of money for this type of picture, then they need to up their game here. So, was that, yeah, that was it on the shipping. Now, the other category is going to be their drills and their toolkit. I have to be honest, their drills are actually quite nice. I do like them. The only drills I had issues with were 310s, and I had a lot of drills that were stuck together. I could not pry them apart. I've tried my pill bottle with quarter, which normally does work. It didn't work. I tried the putting it in one and then trying to press down and breaking them up that way. That didn't work. And I'm not going to rush out and buy a drill crusher or a diamond crusher. So 310 was the only major issue that I had. I'm going to backtrack. I didn't technically run out of 310, but I got tired of trying to pry them apart, so I ended up having to go into my spares just at the bottom, and I think I might have used 15 to 20 of my spares to fill in that spot. The rest of them are in here because I just got really tired of prying them apart. So this is basically my garbage, and very minimal garbage. It wasn't a whole lot. I would say this is about as average as just about any other kit that I've gotten, including from the Diamond Art Club. So hands down, their drills are really good. I do not have any problems with popping drills or drills trying to jump off the canvas. Again, I think that has to do with the incredible adhesive that they've got on here. And I cannot have, actually I shouldn't say that. I do not have any really bad complaints with their drills. Like I said, the 310s were an issue. They not only did I have issues with them not wanting to separate, but I did also have issues with nubs and what I call trailings, where the resin poured out when they were, I guess they baked them, but when they were being produced, the resin material poured out of the sides, and they didn't clean up around the drill itself, so it left some of that resin to seep over, and that type of drill I won't put on my canvases. It just causes a lot of problems when you're trying to put the drills next to each other. I wish my camera would actually focus in on what I'm talking about, because it's easier to show you versus to try to explain it. Those of you that have been doing diamond painting for quite some time, I believe will understand what I'm saying, but those of you that are new, trailing is basically overspilled resin that if you place it on your canvas, you're going to have a hard time with that drill to be placed next to it, because it'll just push it off to the side, or it won't allow that drill to lay flat on the adhesive. It's the best way I can explain it. Now, the tool kit. Again, I have to go back to comparing stores, and the only reason why I'm doing this is because of the price. If you're going to ask Diamond Art Club price or around Diamond Art Club prices, you need to up your game in your tool kit. Now, what I got was basically a tray that looked like this, and a basic blue or a basic pink pen. I don't even know if it came with a scrunchie because I don't know what I did with the pen. It did have a 3-placer. It had some added adhesive tape, which is a great idea, and I believe it had a few plastic baggies. I'm not 100% sure on that one, so don't quote me on that. A small chunk of wax, and I mean a small square, and a pair of extremely flimsy tweezers. Now, what do I mean by upping the game? First of all, this is about the basic tray that you can get. Now, I'm paying, let's say I buy a Diamond Art Club painting, I'm paying $52 US, and their toolkit, let me see if I have a toolkit already. So, let me show you what I mean. This is a Diamond Art Club kit, toolkit. And again, this painting I paid, I believe it was I believe it was 52 or 59.95 and US, and this is what comes in a Diamond Art Club toolkit. So you get a clear tray with a spout, you get 2 plates of wax, you get a 3-placer, a basic pen, some baggies, and a scrunchie. Now in this kit you've got, now I'm not 100% sure because this particular pin didn't come with this kit, but I believe it was a basic pink pen. In fact, I think it was this one. So it was a basic pink pen, a 3-placer, a basic tray, and sorry, I believe I threw away the tweezers because the tweezers just were, I tried them and they just didn't work. But let me see. Yeah, I threw them away because they just didn't work. but they are basically a lot like this, but they were angled. Now, when I look at what I get with this kit versus what I'm getting with this kit, even though most of Diamond Art Club round paintings do not come with a pair of tweezers, you'd be better off, this store would be better off eliminating their tweezers, and instead of sending a basic tray, they should send us a tray similar to this, where it has a spout. Because basically everything that you see here is fairly similar to what you're getting in here, other than their tray has a spout, this one doesn't, and their pin has a scrunchie where theirs didn't. Just a second. Guys, hey, come on, get, shut up. Sorry everyone. He's vocal. So that's, I don't know if anyone else feels that way about this, but as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to be asking the money, then you need to provide a better, the way I see it, a better toolkit. Don't skimp, because when you skimp, then at first people might think, okay, no big deal, but then when they start purchasing something like the Diamond Art Club, they're going to start wondering, well, how come we're paying almost as much, but we're getting basic tools? So just, again, my opinion. My overall review of this picture. Number one thing is the drill key, or your schematics, whatever you may want to call it. It needs to be a bit bigger. And again, suggestion would be to not only have it in the upper left-hand corner, but also have it in the lower right-hand corner. If you don't provide an inventory sheet, that's what they should be doing. If they provide an inventory sheet, then having one drill key in the upper right-hand corner is perfectly fine. And in fact, you wouldn't even have to make this bigger. So that would eliminate that. Two, which I find is very important, is the packaging. Again, suggestion would be to spend a little bit of extra money by providing a foam core for your canvases. So that way gives your canvases a better chance of survival during their travels. Also, if you're going to use DHL as a carrier, my suggestion would be to give the customer an alternative choice. Because honestly, you're offering free shipping, but when it arrives to us and we're having to pay $20 or $15 for custom fees, that's basically paying for shipping. Again, my opinion. 3, symbols. Make sure your symbols, if they're going to be uppercase F's and E's, separate them. Make sure they're not close together. I know that would be difficult and maybe a little bit too hard to do, but just a suggestion, if you can make your symbols a little bit separate from being too close together, because it does make it hard, especially for those of us that do like to spend hours upon hours upon hours on our canvases, and that way our eyes aren't crossing. The next thing would be the toolkit. Again, love the double-sided adhesive tape for possible fixing of the canvas itself. Think that's a great idea, but in all honesty, you need to up your game a little bit with the toolkit by providing a better tray with a spout. And if it's a round drill, honestly, you don't need a pair of tweezers. If it's a square drill though, you do, and my suggestion would be something similar to what we receive from Evermoment, which are these pointy, they're heavy duty and they're pointy, or Star Roar. They have excellent pair of tweezers, and they're rounded here. They won't dig into the canvas like this one here. I like the Evermoment ones, but the problem with these, if you don't shave off that tip, they can actually dig and go through your canvas, where these won't, and these are excellent. So suggestion right here, spend a little bit of extra money on these, and believe me, your customers will love you. That is about it. So my overall impression, if I were to score this 20 points out of 20 points being excellent, and of course 0 points being extremely poor, I would give this store an 18, hands down. Now, I've heard some people compare them, saying that they're going to give Diamond Art Club a run for their money. You know what? Honestly, I have to say, if they can make these changes, they probably will. I will never say that their canvas will be as good or better than Diamond Art Club, hands down. I wouldn't say that, only because Diamond Art Club's canvases are phenomenal. But I have to say, their adhesive, their drills are excellent. And that is what's going to make this company thrive. So I keep calling them company store. If they make the changes to their toolkit and their packing, I think that they will definitely be up there with the Diamond Art Club, as well as Star Roar, because that's another favorite of mine, hands down. So again, this is Cottage Lighthouse, and honestly, I do not think this painting will need to be sealed. I don't think it's necessary, because if you were to have seen how I was trying to pry these drills off to get these sparklers on, you'd be laughing. It was hilarious. So hands down, highly recommend them. But as I said, for me to purchase from them, I would have to see a few more changes. Again, my opinion. So I hope you liked the video. If you did like the video, give it that thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you didn't like the video, it's okay. Totally understand. But if you can go down to the comments below and let me know what you didn't like about the video, I would really greatly appreciate that. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you join the family. But don't forget to hit the bell. The bell will indicate when I've uploaded my next video. So by saying that, I also want to remind you that I do have a free giveaway going on, and it will end on the 11th of August, which is this weekend. So if you're interested in that free giveaway, I will have the link up there. Click on that link, watch the video, and go down the comments below and answer the question, and you will be registered for that free giveaway. So by saying that, if this is morning for you, have a very pleasant morning. If this is afternoon for you, have an excellent rest of your afternoon. And if this is evening for you, have a very restful evening. Again, my name's Janae, and thank you for spending some time with me tonight on the review. We'll talk again real soon.